Hi, my name is Bram. I'm a PhD student at Utrecht University, and probably you've been reading my paper. And I made a video showing how we do the colloidal synthesis that I describe in this work. And I hope this clarifies the procedure and also allows it to replicate it in your lab. Before I start the video, I want to explain that we're going to be doing the first steps, such as weighing the chemicals and filling these two flasks inside of the glove box. So beforehand, we've introduced all the chemicals that we need into the glove box already. And this is just easy to weigh your chemicals and to fill both the flasks. Now, what you see now is that we introduce the ligand into the glove box, and into the flask. And this is a liquid, so we do this using a syringe. And you can see that we put this in a Schlenk flask. And also already you can see there's a little bit of green. So we had already the nickel metal in there. So right now we have the ligand and the metal inside the big flask. Now in the second flask, we're going to be adding the reducing agent, which is borane tetrabutylamine. And we also have a stir bar in both of the flasks. And at this point, we're going to be adding the solvent to both flasks. And this is toluene, which you add via a big syringe with a needle. And what we do here is we carefully wash also the walls of the tube so that everything that we add is really going to be inside of the solution at the end. And we add some toluene to both of these flasks. So the left-hand flask has the nickel, the ligand, and the toluene. And the right-hand flask has toluene and the reducing agent. And at this point, we're going to take these outside of the glove box and transfer them to our Schlenk line. So right now you can see that we've attached both of the flasks to the Schlenk line, and first we're now flushing the lines so that we can then open the flasks to the nitrogen of the Schlenk line, and at that point we're going to heat both of them to the desired injection temperature. Although if you do it really below, let's say 60-70 degrees, you will need to go to a bit higher temperature first to dissolve the metal precursor, most likely. When we've come to the right temperature and we have two clear solutions, we swap the two stoppers for two septa, and then we need to inject reducing agent into the other flask containing the metal and the ligands. So we take a syringe. First, we flush this 3 times by just sucking up some nitrogen from the flask containing reducing agents. And then it's time to do the injection. So now you can see that we're carefully taking the solution containing the reducing agent into the syringe. We're going to be injecting this solution into the other flask containing the metal. And you should see, as we show now, quite quickly a color change. And you also see some gas evolving. Now this gas is hydrogen gas, which is liberated from the reducing agent, which is kind of a hydrogen carrier. And it's important that you make sure that this gas can actually escape somewhere. So now we put on a stopper with a cap, but be careful that the gas can actually escape through the line, which after 45 minutes, the reaction is done, and now we want to evaporate the solvent so that we can take this flask into the glove box again. So we replace the heating mantle for a water bed. And this, on the one hand, cools the solution, but also if we evaporate a lot of toluene, the flask will cool down. So it also makes sure it doesn't get too cooled, so the evaporation can keep going. Then we carefully switch to vacuum, and you will see that it bubbles. Afterwards, we want to take this flask back into the glove box so we can do the workup, so the washing steps. At this point, we open the flask again in the nitrogen atmosphere of the glove box, and here we will add some toluene to redissolve the product and put it into a vial so we can continue with our workup procedure. So here you can see an upside down septum which goes to a vacuum pump outside of the glove box, and this is a nice system to have to dry your stuff inside the glove box. So after this evaporation procedure, I did not take another video, but you have to wash this precipitate 3 times with hexane, and afterwards you can dry it again in a vacuum, and then I usually store these dried particles in the glove box as a dry powder. So I hope you found this video useful and you're now able to replicate this synthesis in your own lab. Good luck!